Hello, everybody. Thank you for being here. Maree, my co-host, how are you?
I'm great, thanks, Elisa. How are you?
I'm doing great. How are things in Australia?
Good, fairly status quo at the moment because we've got our election coming up on the 21st of May. So it's very interesting. They've all gone quiet. You just don't see hair nor hide of them after seeing them every day for 2 years. And as I was saying, hi guys, I was saying to Elisa before, we have a lot of independents now running for Senate, and the two major parties are running scared. So they've even given each other as preferences. Never happened. So it's just hilarious. So we're just going to wait and see what happens. But it's nice and peaceful. So that, yeah,
Good, good, good. I can't
yeah,
wait to see what happens there.
I know, right? So yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
so they are forecasting a lot of rain over the next sort of week
Mm.
or so. So we're just sort of keeping our little elementals out there doing their work to try and stop that happening.
Yeah, so today's going to be a big one, right, Maree?
It is. It is going to be big, yeah. And I mean, I've sort of see already. There's lots of really good questions up there. So I think maybe we should start with a beautiful little meditation and a connection. I thought I maybe bring in, the energy of the Christ consciousness,
Yes,
and of Mother Mary and of Mary
yes,
Magdalene. I thought
yes,
those three, if we can actually bring through and have that energy surrounding us and supporting us, would be
yeah,
beautiful
yeah,
today. So, oh, sorry,
absolutely.
guys. And Jasper says hello. I forgot
Hello,
him.
Jazzy.
Oh. So, all right. So, let's all just sit nice and comfortably, feet on the ground. And I want you to just close your eyes. And I'm going to run energy while we do this. So, take a big breath in, and as you breathe out, let yourself drop into your body. Just relax, surrender. Another breath in. And this time again, just drop into that beautiful big heart. Okay. And this time, I want you to see, sense, or feel that white light beginning to birth from deep within your heart. And allow this light to expand out through your heart, releasing the pain, anything that is not of love. And then, as usual, moving through your whole body into every cell of your being until it's vibrating with this pure white light of consciousness. It keeps expanding out into your energy field. It's releasing any dross, anything that is not of light, any hooks or cords. And as it does this, it brings through a sense of peace. And now see, sense, or feel a golden spiral coming down from the cosmos through your crown chakra. This golden light moves down through the crown, through all of the chakras, right through the body. This is Christ consciousness coming through. And as it does so, it activates your heart. You can see, sense, or feel the gold light shining brightly through your heart. And you can ask for that Christ consciousness, for Yeshua, for Jesus, however it is that you perceive this beautiful energy to come through to you now. And connect in with this being. And be open to any emotions or words of wisdom that come through for you. And now we see a beautiful blue ray of light coming through into your heart. And as this comes into your heart, you feel the presence of Mother Mary, the peace and the love and the healing that comes through with her beautiful presence is with you. And now a magenta red ray comes through, red and pink, moving through your heart as the feminine goddess energy of Mary Magdalene comes in to connect with your very essence. This feminine goddess principle begins to be activated in your being, in your DNA. Connect in with this Mary Magdalene presence. And as we sit in a place of reverence, of love, and of acceptance with this beautiful energy from these three masters, just know that you too have this frequency within you. You are loved. And as we ask them to be with us today, as we connect in and ask for truth and wisdom to come through from them all, we thank them. And now we gently begin to bring ourselves back into the here and now. Focus on your breath again. Gently wriggle your toes. And when you're ready, you can open your eyes.
Very good. Can you hear the birds in the background?
Yeah,
That's beautiful.
I know. We have lots of beautiful birds here as well. But that was,
Wonderful.
I could feel the peace of that coming through. I don't know about everyone else. But,
Yeah.
yeah, that was beautiful.
And here are the pictures that Maree sent me. Maree, you want to tell us about these pictures that, of course, as people will notice, Jesus looks very different.
And
So,
yeah, absolutely. And this is the thing, we all have our own perception, I guess, of what Yeshua or Jesus looks like. With this picture, it's more about the frequency of it, because this was done with the intention of seventh dimensional frequency and above. So this is why actually when I sometimes meditate on it and really just tune into that beautiful frequency that's coming through from it. So obviously some people, he's been depicted as, having the dark skin, coming from those sort of countries, and with others he has the red hair, same as was it Mary? Mary Magdalene. They said some people said she had red hair, and with others she was quite dark. But yeah, so this is more about the energy that's actually within it. And there's sacred symbols, you might be able to see them, that are actually embedded into that picture. So we've got the Ankh, I can see it better up here on mine. The
right
Om, the
here.
Ankh, the beautiful, the 5-pointed stars, so the pentagram. So there, and behind it is a template. So that in itself is bringing through a frequency. So yeah, what are your thoughts with that one, Elisa? Because I know you sort of said, oh, that's not how I sort of see that depiction.
Yeah, well, I felt, he was from that area, as Arabic.
Yeah,
So I thought he was Arabic looking. I saw a picture one time of this girl that does these paintings of what she sees. They're channeled. And she was 12, maybe even younger. And that struck me as the right one, which was
yeah,
like more of the curlier hair, darker skin, green eyes.
yeah,
Um, yeah, so that's kind of what I
yeah,
was thinking. He was more like, here he looks like a Pleiadian almost,
yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, and that's the other
yeah,
thing too. Remember, it's very cosmic. He had very well, to me, my understanding, very cosmic energy within him. So, yeah,
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 yeah. And the other one you sent me, here's Mary,
yeah.
and
Um,
then Here's Mary Magdalene. See, she's looking darker. She
So
looks more like I would think she would look, which is more of that Arabic looking.
yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. Now these are the beautiful transference healing depictions as well. And she's known as the Black Madonna because she works with the black ray, which is very, very, very powerful, and the feminine, real goddess, feminine principle. Now you can notice that her hand's actually on a skull, and
Yes, I noticed that.
yeah, and that's a depiction of her connection and working with John the Baptist. So that's what that was. So yeah, isn't that interesting that that depicts, I guess, that working that they did together with the
Yeah.
spiritual enlightenment. And it was really interesting because with Mary Magdalene, I mean, we've been told, you know, she was a prostitute, but of course,
Oh, that was a lie. Yeah. Well,
they've
we can,
inverted that.
we can ask today,
Yeah,
right?
no, but that was actually, they were known as goddesses of the tantric spiritual initiations.
Mm-hmm.
So it was she was like a goddess of a temple, and yeah, so
Yeah.
she actually helped Jesus with that too.
Yeah. Yeah.
I
Absolutely.
know.
Absolutely. So, I have heard people say that Jesus didn't exist. So that's going to be my first question.
Okay, let's have a look at that and see. Did
Did Jesus
Jesus,
exist?
did Yeshua von Joseph, which is what he was known as,
Mm-hmm.
did he actually, was there such a
Was
being?
he?
That one's jumped out. Ah, ha, ha. First one out is the magician. So to me, this is bringing heaven to earth with all the tools that go with it. And let's just have a little look. Yeah, I'm getting that. I'm getting he did. So because then we've got our King of Pentacles, and this is a master of creation, a master of reality. And then our Six of Pentacles, which is actually offering something to people, so giving something. So he was here for a reason, to offer something to us.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Yeah.
and my understanding is that Jesus actually helped to template the fifth dimensional frequency onto earth. So that
Mm-hmm.
was actually part of his role.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. So the um I've heard many different information about where he's from, right? Is he Syrian? I heard he was Lyran. And now I can see the Andromedan says he's Syrian.
okay.
So where did he incarnate from? Where did he actually come from? I'm sure he was from all over, but
Yeah.
specifically, where did he incarnate from?
Okay. Right.
And I don't know if we need to be asking for the specific, like
Yeah.
if I should be
Is it
asking you, is he
Syrian? Is
Syrian?
it,
Right.
yeah,
Is he
yeah,
Syrian? Yes. Is
yeah.
he,
Let's do that because I was getting a mixture. so
yeah.
you know, I feel like we are, like, you know, we
Yeah.
have,
We're
yeah,
from everywhere.
DNA from everywhere, and aspects and gifts and talents from everywhere. So you want me to ask about Syrian first?
Okay. Let's do it this way.
Yeah.
Was he a hybrid?
Okay.
Because if he's a hybrid, then you can't tell me he's a hybrid from everywhere. There's got to be a specific DNA that he's going to have.
Yeah, more
So it'll
so
be
than
a
another.
lot easier to pinpoint.
Yeah.
Maybe he was full on ET also. I mean,
Yeah,
maybe he wasn't even a hybrid.
So the first one that's come up is our Seven of Wands. So to me, this is a real, it's still a mixture. It's still a map. There's been a bit of a struggle going on with everything. But then the Nine of Pentacles. And what I was getting as I was asking that question is he was quite unique. So he actually had a particular way of with DNA, but he could activate his gifts because of the Lover's card here that's come up. So he was connected in with something that allowed spiritual gifts and talents to come through directly. And yeah, a lot more connected than what, say, we would have been initially if we were born in that time. So so to me, he was quite unique. So I'm going to just ask, was he a hybrid, basically?
Yeah.
Yeah. I feel no. I feel he had like just a whole combination of DNA that was activated when it was needed. So, but
Okay.
so I don't feel he was like a hybrid per se. Like, yeah, he was. I'm seeing that he could channel things through. So it was almost like he was more than his physical body. That was almost to a point of irrelevance.
Yes.
Yeah. Does that make
Mm-hmm.
sense? So, because that's what I was actually seeing when I was asking that. So it's
Uh,
yeah, it's not he's not a hybrid. Maybe well, we're all hybrids too, aren't we? You know, this is where it gets complicated. We're hybrids. We've got lots of different DNA and aspects
mm-hmm.
within us that are unique to us. So because of our gifts and talents and who we are and what we've experienced, and then we're unique as well. So I feel he was unique in the way that he could bring through those gifts and talents. So it
Okay.
was more spiritual than the physical aspect.
Okay. Okay. And guys, if you don't mind, we're not going to ask personal questions. We're going to keep it just to the bigger picture. If we have time later on at the end of the show, then we'll ask the personal questions. But right now, we're going to try to keep it to the more general
General.
questions. Okay, so I knew the answer would be he's from everywhere, but okay, let's try to find out where he was from on Earth.
Okay.
Was he actually from Syria or from like Israel or from, where was he from?
Okay. Let's have a look and see. Okay. So I'll ask first, was he from so
Was he
and
from Israel, right? Didn't they
yeah,
say he was from Israel?
yeah, originally. So
But I
yeah,
have a feeling Israel didn't even exist.
but well, it would be called something else, wouldn't it? It
Right.
was yeah.
So
So
let's say from where Israel is today, whatever the
yeah.
name was of that area.
So yeah, so our Empress card has come up. So so that it very well could be because our Queen of Swords, who speaks truth, is words and whatever. So and the Page of Pentacles, which is when he was young. So it would have been maybe around that area of where all of this was going on, like Judea, all of those sort of places.
Mhm, mhm,
So
mhm.
so yeah, so that's telling me it was around that general area. So but
Okay.
things were very different again, like you said. There was, different
Yeah.
names of places.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. Okay. Um, Let me close some things here because I think the computer is
because where's
playing
Mount
false.
Sinai? That's in just trying to think
Um,
what part of it.
I is it Israel?
Yeah,
Palestine.
Palestine. Okay, so sort of around that general area. But he
Okay.
traveled. I know he traveled.
Okay. Okay. So let's go back to the main question, which is let's start from the beginning, right? So was
Oh,
Mary, well, let's first start with was she a teenager? Because I had heard she was a teenager, like
okay.
13 when she had him.
Okay. Well, let's see if that's true. Wow. Yeah, no, I feel she was older than that because the Two of Cups has come up. So I feel that she was I'm getting told Jasper's chiming in, which is great. He's going, no, she was actually taught in the ways of the spiritual realm, of that realm that they were in. She was taught in those ways. And then we've got our Page of Swords. So there's been again a little bit of not quite truth. It's been a bit distorted.
Of
So
course. Of
yes,
course.
yeah.
Yeah.
So no,
Um,
I feel that she was because the Ten of Wands has come up. So I feel she was older than that. So something finished and then she went into that. So,
okay.
yeah.
Okay. So then the next question would be was Mary um was this an ET impregnation?
Yeah.
Not a
Yeah, not a human.
mm,
Yeah,
right.
was it something that came through
Mhm.
conception with a with the
With
thing? Let's have a
a
look and
yeah.
see. Yeah, I feel there was something because more than a physical because Got our Six of Cups, which is something being offered, and this is often from another lifetime. And then our Two of Cups has come up again. So
Mhm.
it's there was a union energetically, and then the Justice card. So I feel that that's sort of more of a truth than a physical impregnation. But the conception, I'm seeing the conception happening in light. So it was actually a light, a real light being or whatever conception that came through.
Okay.
So yeah.
So did she agree? Was she told, like, you know how they say it, an angel
Mm,
came
yep.
and told her that she was gonna be pregnant and all this?
Yeah. Well, I mean, in the Bible it says that, doesn't it? It sort of says that she said, holy am I, or something, to carry, this sort of baby of God, or whatever it was. So let's just
Yeah,
have a look and see. Yeah. So yeah, Ace of Pentacles has come up. So I do believe that
that she
that
was told.
yeah,
Mhm.
and the Nine of Cups. So it was something she really desired. It was something she knew that was her role and who she was, and yeah, and the Magician. So you can't get too many more yeses and positivity than that. So she knew
Yeah,
who she was. She
yeah.
was she'd been awakened. She was on a very, very high frequency. Mm, yeah.
Too much background noise. Okay. Okay, very good. So that makes sense. So the answer
Mm.
would be yes, then she was
Yes. What?
inseminated
Yes.
in some way,
So
with
in some way,
light
yeah.
or with whatever. Yes.
Whatever. Yes. Yeah. That's a good way to put it. So yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Okay. And the next question is, did he die on the cross?
So we're talking about, yep, Jesus, and did he actually
Jesus.
die on a cross? Yeah, let's have a look and see. Yep. Yeah, it does look like it, because we've got our Ten of Swords, which is the ending of something. So it is, and then the Justice card. So it was all part of the movie for everyone at that time. And then the
Mhm.
Chariot. So it's like, and I think this is one of the issues, is that everyone's kept him on the cross, whereas he's actually, it's like it's time almost we moved on with that Chariot. It's time we move on to recognize the consciousness that he left for us, or that was put here for us to tap into. Because remember, Jesus said, you too shall do these things and more. So it was almost like telling us that we can do the healings, we can do all of the stuff that um, he actually could do and brought onto earth. And these three cards just came up then. So the Sun card, which is real, it's joy, it's healing, it's to me, this is such an abundance card, and the Four of Wands, which is building a beautiful place on earth, a community, a home. And then
Mhm.
again, our Ace of Pentacles. So I feel that the depiction of him on the cross is an aspect to keep people a little bit trapped. So because it was more the fact of what he brought here. It was more the fact of what he instigated with this
Mhm.
the very high frequency that he templated onto earth.
Okay. So then are we
Mm.
saying then that he and Mary Magdalene didn't marry and didn't have children and all of this then? Is that
Yeah,
what we're
no,
saying?
that still would have happened.
Oh, well, it said it
Yeah,
died on the cross. So
but that would have happened sort of before. So look, the Two of Cups, they came together sort of before that. So because remember, Mary Magdalene had to flee. She had to flee over to France, where she was protected by what are they called? The Cathars. So
okay, so then
yeah,
so let's ask that question then.
yeah,
Were Mary Magdalene and Jesus married before he died on the cross?
yeah. We've got our Three of Wands, which is looking towards the future. So, yep, and we've got our Eight of Pentacles, which is something has been worked on, okay, and then our Wheel of Fortune. So something has changed, something's moved, something's come through. That's, to me, the Wheel of Fortune is always a good card. Something positive has come from it. So yeah,
Mhm.
I do feel that that's actually what happened. So
Okay.
Mm.
Okay, so in the cards, you're saying the cards are saying that yes, they were married before he died on the cross.
Yep.
Okay.
Yes.
So is the story of the resurrection true then?
Let's have a look and see.
Because I thought it was a lie.
Okay. It had to be depicted in a way that people could see it as a miracle. So the world cards come up in the Ace of Pentacles. So he took his physical body through to fifth dimensional. It was in a fifth dimensional realm. So that was the ascension. And the high priestess is where obviously secrets are hidden. And, it's a balance of feminine principle, because to me, Jesus was androgynous. So he had the perfect balance of feminine and masculine principles. And he went into another dimension. So he could then come back in form, if that makes sense. So because, teleport, you can do anything when you're in that dimension. So to me, yeah, it was depicted how it was depicted, whereas it was showing him as an ascended master.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that was how it was depicted, so people could sort of see the miracle per se, what they could perceive as a miracle.
Okay. So then we're saying that so what happened to his body then? You're saying that he just went to the fifth dimension then. He changed his body into the fifth
Yeah.
dimension.
Yeah, I feel that's what I'm getting. The sense I'm getting is that he could take his body with him. Yeah, the full. So that's the new beginning. This is like the new start, the new way of being. So he could take his body wherever he chose to. Yeah, Ace of Cups. So yeah, because of that beautiful emotional, the knowing and the wisdom that came through from that. So
Right.
Eight of Wands, something happened very quickly. So he was incredibly high vibration and frequency, as we know.
Yes.
And so it's just been told in a different way to maybe how we perceive it these days. So, and I think, 3 days, I think that there's something sacred about the 3 days, the 72 hours. It was used as a, as a, what's the word? An analogy, that 3 days was something sort of sacred.
Yeah. So did he agree? I'm sure he already knew that was going to happen, right? Was that part of the story?
So did
That
he
he was
agree
going
to
to
have
get
this happen?
crucified?
Yeah. I feel it was. Yeah. Yeah. This was maybe part of the gift that he brought through, because I was just seeing that it was who he was, basically. That was, why he was here as well, was part of that, was to do that. And yeah, the Justice card. So I guess the cards just help us to see something tangible as I'm seeing it and it's coming through. So that was his gift, was the bringing through that fifth dimensional aspect onto Earth, into our to bring it onto the Earth. I guess the hologram of our grid lines and the templating, because that's the Justice card has also come up, and then the Chariot again. So it was to help us to move forward. So, and I guess that's why the cards are good, because they just give us a little bit of a picture, as to the what's coming through. So
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. And sometimes channeling has filters in it and people
yeah,
add their own stuff to it. So I prefer having the cards together with the channeling
yeah,
than
you
just a
do both.
pure old channeling.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Let me go back to, there were so many questions. Okay. How many children did they have together?
Okay. It's interesting because straight away I was getting 4. So that was, yeah. And let me just see if that's what we're getting. Yeah. And that was their desire, was to have children as well. So
So what we're saying is basically that I'm trying to restructure this in my head because I
Yeah.
already had a different story completely. So what we're saying is that he actually, when he died, he already had the children and was married,
Yeah.
is what we're
So
saying.
because the
Okay.
Nine of Cups has come up, so that was the wish and desire, was to have
To have
children, and
children.
yeah, and then the King of Wands. So this is someone
Mhm.
very spiritual, a spiritual master,
Yeah.
that is creating something. So, and then the King of Swords. So this is a master of words and of intentions and thoughts, and someone that can bring something into fruition. So
Okay.
yeah, I feel it was very much he had children. And I mean, it's interesting because there was also I was saying to Elisa as well before, there's some amazing books. I read them years and years ago, but
Oh yeah, the books.
the books, yeah, let me just they came to me. I thought, oh, I'll just let people know about these books. And one of them's a movie. So Kathleen McGowan, some of you may have heard of her. So she wrote The Expected One and The Book of Love, and they just made me ask questions and go and do more research and do more, meditation on it. And they were really good books to look at if you're interested. It's about her journey back through, and then how she was connected back in through other lifetimes with around that time frame. And then the other one I just loved was by Claire Hartsong. I don't know if you've heard of her. She wrote Anna, the grandmother of Jesus. And when I looked at that title years ago, I went, how come I never thought about who the grandmother was, or, grandfathers? How did I not even think of the lineage there? And so that was, to me, fascinating, because she channeled through that story from Anna. So that
Mhm, mhm.
I found that one really beautiful to read, and it talks about how they kept themselves, like apparently she lived to 800, and how they actually kept themselves in that much purer state of being physically back then as well. So so there's some really good books if you're interested, just to make you start asking more questions and looking at things a little bit differently as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Conversations with God as well, books 1, 2, and 3.
Yeah,
Dolores Cannon had a whole book called Jesus and the Essenes, and that
yeah,
was all from her sessions
yeah,
with this one person who had been an either John the Baptist or an Essene. I can't remember
yeah,
what the person was. That was the client that was under hypnosis. So that one is also fascinating as well.
yeah.
Fascinating.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And I know for myself, I always get given books just at the right time. And again, years ago, I read Neil Donald Walsh, and it just changed my whole perception of how this
Oh,
world
big
works,
time.
and how everything. Because I always wondered what was deja vu and things like that. And there was just so many trigger things that made me go in and look and find for myself what sat right and what actually worked. So,
Yeah. Yeah,
loved
yeah,
them.
yeah, yeah. Okay, the next question was Mary Magdalene of Greek descent?
Wow. Okay, that's a good question. Let's have a look and see.
All right.
Okay.
And I'm gonna do this here.
Interesting, because the Queen of Wands and the Lovers has come up. And I wasn't getting initially that she was like fully Greek, but there's the Seven of Wands. So there was some there could have been some aspect of Greek DNA within her,
Mm-hmm.
because that seven to me tells me that there's something that's gone on, that's mixed stuff up. It's so I feel that there could be some. I don't feel she was fully Greek, but there could be some DNA.
Okay.
Yeah. Mm.
All right. Um, let's see. And Desiree, I might get back to that second question. I'm just trying to make sure I get a question from every single person.
Yeah.
Um, let's see. Because Desiree has a lot of questions. So I'll go back to those.
Yeah.
Project Troy Horse by Youssef, was it real? Was it recorded by J.J. Benitez on his books? Time Travel Back to Jesus.
Okay. I've not heard of that.
Me either. It sounds like maybe it was somebody who was time travel back to Jesus, a remote viewing maybe into the time of Jesus.
Okay. Let's have a look and
Let's
see.
see if it was true or not.
Do you know what? There could be some truth in it, because I've got the Knight of Pentacles, which is someone that's sort of methodically doing something and bringing through a reality, showing us something. Then I've got the Three of Cups, which is actually a celebration. And then I've got
Okay.
the Six of Swords. So this is actually moving from one thing to another. So there was definitely something that has come through that, was related to that time, to that plane of existence or that time frame.
Wow.
So,
Okay. So there you go.
Mm.
Very good.
I'd be interested to actually have a look at that to see.
Yeah, right?
So, and it doesn't mean that everything's 100% right either. Like, even what we do, but even books and things, it's often people's perception as well can come in and flavor it, of course.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Okay. So Andromedan is asking what about his real father, and I guess what we saw in the cards was that, and basically the
So
angelic realm,
Andromedan,
or
it was very much a spiritual. It was an angelic, higher being.
it was a
type.
higher dimensional being, basically.
Yeah.
Right?
So yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So, and then the Page of Wands has come up, which is again is spiritual, something new that's spiritual. So it was definitely like a spiritual union on a level that we may not understand, to create that beautiful, unique being that we had before. The same card when I was talking about Jesus and how unique he was and how it's difficult to explain who he is, on that level for us.
Yeah.
But thanks. Thanks. Good question.
Yeah. So the next question, now that I see, I've looked through, make sure nobody else has questions. We go back to Desiree's questions. Was Maree the reincarnation of Lady Isis?
Oh, okay. Okay, let's have a look and see.
Oh, and the next question that she has is really good too.
Wow. Okay. I was getting no, but there are aspects. So that again, this high priestess is coming up. Maree was a high priestess. She was actually, so is that Mary Magdalene, or Mary, we have to be careful? Is that Mary Magdalene?
That's right.
Or Mother Mary?
I assume Mother Mary.
Yeah, I
She
did
was asking
too.
about Mary.
So
Because
Desiree,
usually we say Magdalene when it's Mary Magdalene.
true.
We'll add the Magdalene to it.
Yeah. So Mary M or Mother Mary.
Yep.
So I feel that she actually maybe followed in some of there was similar ways of being in their spirituality, but again, that unique card has come up, and then the Lovers card. So I don't feel that she was a reincarnation, but I feel it was a similar soul group, or there was some aspect that was similar between them all. Yeah.
Okay, very good. The next question is really good. Did Jeshua have a 12-strand DNA?
Wow, great question.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah, so 24 keeps coming up. So it sounds like it was fully activated. So let's just see. Oh, yeah, I'm getting a very strong yes that it was fully activated.
Fully activated DNA. Yeah, I would assume so.
Yeah. Yeah. So he had to go through. So the high priestess has come up again. And remember, it was this initiation through the spiritual tantra and the Kundalini rising that activates DNA as well. He had it was a hard journey sort of getting there. Can you imagine being in that low vibrationary frequency and having to bring through and template this fifth dimensional energy? I mean, gosh. And then the Judgment card. So I feel this is a truth coming through. Okay. And yeah, it's almost like it was heralded through. So I'll do a clarification card, but I'm still keep getting 24. So it would have been that double helix 12-strand DNA that was activated.
Oh, okay.
So
Okay.
yeah, I do. It really is coming through that he was fully activated.
Yeah.
So because again, we've got being offered a gift and a Page of Wands. So really bringing something new into Earth.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, very good question. Next question. Did Mary say that fast about 3 times? Did Mary Did Mary marry a Roman soldier?
Now, is this Mary Magdalene? Guys, can you put like Mary M if it's for Mary Magdalene rather than Mother Mary? Because
Well,
otherwise,
they'll say Magdalene if it's
okay, all right. So is
Magdalene.
this Mother Mary? Did she
Yes,
marry a Roman
yes, this
soldier?
is
Okay,
Mother Mary, because
let's
I
find out.
had heard a channeler a long time ago that
Yep.
that was what she said happened, and that's how Jesus was born from rape, is what she said.
Wow.
Yeah, and it
Oh,
was a Roman
I'm getting
soldier.
such a strong tingling on my head that was interfered with
Oh
that
yeah,
channeling. That
but
was
that
really
channeling was
interfered with.
interfered with,
Yeah.
of course.
Ugh, goodness. So yeah, no, it was what we saw before. So
Yeah.
it was that beautiful union that we actually saw before. So
Hmm.
there was no, that was actually not right. That was coming through from her.
Yeah.
So, and he, King of Wands again. So he was very much a very spiritual master.
Yeah.
So yeah, no,
Okay. Very
no.
good. Um,
So no, that was the question about. Also, that was a question about the Roman marrying a Roman soldier. So I would say that's a negative.
okay.
So that's our card.
Very good.
Ooh.
Okay. Was Yeshua and Mary's child named Sarah?
Oh, that's a good question, isn't it? Okay. Interesting. That card just keeps coming up. It's interesting. The Queen of Swords has come up, so someone that actually speaks truth, very direct. And then again, that Two of Cups. So, and the Four of Wands, which is a happy home. So I'm feeling that there could have been a Sarah.
Yeah, those are kind of yes cards.
Yeah, they are sort of yes cards. And then the Fool, which is something new, something that's being birthed or whatever. So there's no negative cards in there. So yeah, and the Lovers. So I'm feeling that maybe there was a Sarah.
A Sarah or something close to it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, very good.
Because it's not something I've looked into, is the names of the children. I mean, where did they go? Did they go, with Mary Magdalene? Were they fostered out somewhere? Did they go somewhere else? Who knows? So the cabal killed him.
So let's ask if that was the cabal,
Ah, yes, very good question.
right? Oh my God, I forgot his name.
Pontius Pilate.
Thank you. Yes.
I think he was sort of, again, he was probably a puppet master, political puppet master, like they have these days.
Oh, like now, they're all puppeted by the cabal, all
Yeah,
of them.
exactly. Let's just have a look here.
Yeah.
This keeps coming up. Yeah, it's looking like, because we've got the High Priestess again, which is a lot of mystery. Someone's being offered something, so to do something, and then we've got our Four of Swords. So definitely something was done behind the scenes. So I would say that there was a darker forces that were in play here. That that people were offered money as usual, things like that, to help to bring
Mhm.
it to pass. However, and it's a really good reminder, guys, remember, everything is done for a reason.
Yeah,
Even what's going on
it's
now.
all part of the story of the
Yeah,
play that we write to
exactly. And so even all the stuff that's been going on now, it's been set up and written and as a
Mhm.
script. So it would have been same thing. So we almost need the dark to be actually to help us to be able to come into balance and yeah, be balanced, literally. So
Mhm.
yeah.
Mhm. Okay, I'm not sure how the cards can answer this question, but I will ask it anyhow.
Ask, what is a Christ?
What is a Christ?
Okay, so to me, something that's Christed is something that is actually of a consciousness. So when I talk about Christ consciousness, it's a consciousness that's well, we can call it fifth dimensional, we can call it seventh dimensional, but it's something that's Christos, which is, it's I don't know how to explain this. So let me see. Okay, So the Eight of Wands has come up. So it's something that to me can happen very quickly within us, which I believe is happening now. So Christ consciousness, Christos. Yeah, it's something I'll have to actually
Crystal?
look at. No, a
Could it be
Christos,
Christos, crystal? Like meaning
kind of
pure,
sacred.
meaning
Yeah,
um,
yeah.
um,
I
of the
know there's a
light.
I know there's a definition for it. So to me, it feels that it's something that it's an activation, like it's a Christed, something that's been Christed, which is an activation as well. And I keep seeing the pineal gland and the chrysalis, which is an oil that actually comes through from the pineal gland when it's activated and opened.
Hmm.
So,
Hmm.
so yeah. So to me, that's the only way I could probably describe it, which is really, really not great. But good
Okay.
question, Andromedan. Yeah, but it's definitely
Okay.
something that comes that we bring through. It's like a consciousness.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
All right, let's see. We can ask about was Joseph his father? I mean, we know it wasn't his father biologically,
Yeah. Yeah.
but was it Joseph who married Mary?
Yeah. Ooh, did they marry? Did they marry? I don't feel they were married. I feel that they were. So this is like looking towards the future and letting go of the past. I feel he was there as a protector, as a someone that cared for her. So because the Page of Swords has
Ah,
come up, and this is someone that no, it's not truth. They're not speaking something that's absolutely spot on. And
okay.
then the Five of Swords, which is change, very fast change. So
Okay.
yeah, I don't feel they were married, but I feel there was a protector for her, like a
Okay.
physical protector. Mm,
Okay. Interesting. I thought they were married.
mm,
That's I'm glad I asked.
yeah.
Okay. Dennis's question is Jesus' bloodline part of the
Mm,
Whiteheads of today?
that's a good question, isn't
I
it?
don't know if the Whiteheads is too big of a group to
Yeah.
ask that, because the
So
Whiteheads are really so many people that it just
maybe is it people that maybe have a high consciousness, that are compassionate, that are helping others, that maybe um, yeah, so that have a role to play here, maybe something like that. It's because I mean, white hats to me are people that are helping to bring
right.
to truth and to get things more balanced.
Mm-hmm,
So let's
mm-hmm.
just see if that's the case. Okay, this one wants to come out. Yeah, they're definitely hidden. So there's definitely Jesus' DNA or bloodline, and it's been hidden. And the Page of Wands is something new that's spiritual, or people that are learning spirituality, and the Wheel of Fortune. So this will probably come out. I would say that it will come out that there definitely were children of Jesus, and that they are working in a way, of course, that is along those philosophies and ways of being. And we may never know who they are, but the truth might come out that yes, there were definitely children,
Mm-hmm.
and there is DNA on Earth.
Okay, very
Mm.
good. So that would be a good question then. Is there Christ? Is there his descendants? Are they real blood descendants still alive from Jesus?
Yep. So, oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah.
10 of Cups. This is family to me. This is beautiful, creative. Again, that Page of Wands has come up, so it's carrying the spiritual line. It's the
Yeah.
new line coming through. Yeah, Temperance card.
Yeah.
Yes, yeah, there are definitely, and the Nine of Cups also dropped out. So that to me was the wish and the desire, was to continue that. I feel it's really important though is that template that he actually helped to ground onto Earth, into our grid lines and into our etheric holographic nature as well. I
Yeah.
feel that was really important, because I remember it was fascinating too, because I know 2012 had something to do with this shift, because I remember running meditation groups before then, and it was so hard to almost hold this frequency, this fifth dimensional frequency, with what we were running.
Mm-hmm.
And then almost as soon as 2012 was finished, it was like, oh, you could feel the difference in the frequency on Earth, just even with running these meditation groups. It was like it was
Wow.
really hard to hold the energy and frequency that we were bringing through, because it was quite high. And then
Wow.
all of a sudden it was like, oh, this is so much easier. So it's almost like something did shift in 2012. And, so the access to that fifth dimensional going into seventh dimensional was easier.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, very good. This is a good question. Interesting question.
Ah,
Is Mr. T part of that bloodline?
how'd you guys come up with some good questions? Okay, let's see. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. I think he might be. We've got our 9 of Cups, okay, which is wishes and desired and something that's wanted. The World card. And I'm actually getting goosebumps, and the Ace of Pentacles.
Whoa, that's a big yes.
So, Dennis, I think you're onto something. And I could feel an energy coming through as I was asking that question. I don't know about you guys, but I really felt something coming in. I'm still getting goosebumps.
Wow. Wow, wow, wow.
Yep.
Very good question.
So tell me if anyone else has sort of got any energy when that came through, or if it was just me. I was just feeling that coming in.
Yeah, no, I didn't get anything.
Okay, that's all right.
All right, did Judas really betray Jesus, or is it all just a coordinated plan to fool the Romans to ensure Jesus' safe passage to escape the capture?
Okay, let's ask. Who's that from? Cabal. Okay, let me just have a look and see. Whew. Wow. Okay. With these cards that are coming up, so we've got our 9 of Wands, which it's been a tough journey. There's been something going on that's not been easy. So I was focusing on Judas to see what was coming up for him. He actually played a role that was really important, and it was like in a movie. He had to play a role that was really important, and he was persecuted for that. Like it's always said, oh, you've been sold out for 30 pieces of silver, relating right back to Judas. But in actual fact, he was setting up, the 4 of Pentacles is setting up a foundation for something to play out or something to happen.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel, like the bad guys today, I feel he was actually a really brave soul to do that.
Yeah.
To actually, so I don't feel that, I'll double check, but I feel it was actually meant to happen. He was like, and who knows if it's true or not, but I heard that he committed suicide afterwards because he couldn't handle having done that.
Let's ask.
Yeah, let's ask. But I'll see first if that was around an escape, sort of, if they wanted to get Jesus to escape. Okay, it's coming from this one, so let's have a look. No, so what happened was meant to happen. So it took things to where it needed to go, because I was asking, was it? And then again, this is that something that's been created. It was all set up as a plan, and then the 3 of Cups. So it was actually what was meant to happen. It was a celebration, orchestrated, So So I'll ask: Did Judas, because of the guilt of that, did Judas actually decide to leave the earth plane?
The earth plane. Mm-hmm.
Gosh.
Yeah.
Big responsibility.
And as I mentioned, guys, before, I'm not going to ask any personal questions. So sorry about that, but we're going to keep it.
Yeah, we can maybe do another one day where we do that. Like, if you like, we can do one. So let's just see. Ooh, okay. Yeah, it's so fascinating, because we got the same cards. I shuffled and I split, and we actually got exactly the same cards come up. So I feel that he did, because it was such a big thing for him to do, and the realization. It's like anything, when we do something, the realization of that was too much. Oh my God. Yep, the Hanged Man. So the whole the whole thing that orchestrated out for him was really hard. So that hangman to me, and I actually was seeing a hanging. So I think he did. I think it was all too much.
Wow.
And
Wow.
we've all persecuted him. You know, it's interesting because it's a little bit like Hitler. Like some people,
Yes.
it's like they say now
Yes.
that is completely different. He was the fall guy for the
Yes. Not only that, he is me. He is me.
Yeah.
And I am him, you know,
Yeah.
like this is a projection. So therefore, everybody projected in my reality is me. In the end, it's me as a good guy, and it's me as a bad guy.
I know.
Just creating experiences for our growth.
Yep, exactly.
Yeah.
I know.
Yeah. And so, Kibu Hope, we already answered that question about why, you know, if he was resurrected and all that good stuff. So go back to the beginning of the video, and we talk a little bit about that and what happened.
Yeah.
So I don't know, Maree, if you want to explain real quick what the.
Okay, so it came up that he actually he could ascend with his body.
Yeah, he actually did.
He had such high frequency vibration, he could completely teleport to whatever he wanted with his physical body. Yeah.
Okay, great. All right, let's see. Can Jasper tell us? Oh, no. Okay, yeah, that's a personal question. I'm going to hold off on that. And the last question from Andromedan, that's also a personal question. Did the UFO took Joshua after he was dead? No. So what Maree is explaining is that he went into another dimension. So he vibrated himself so high that he another dimension.
So so it was the finishing of that physical plane for him, but he'd already merged into perfection, into that perfect, like androgynous, masculine, feminine principle, and he was evolved, and so he could then do basically whatever he wanted with his body. He could take his body with him.
Right. Exactly. Exactly.
He would have. Okay, can I explain something as well? So a UFO, we have our own UFOs. It's called our Merkaba, and that's what when Jesus went. Apparently, when he went into that beautiful, connected, balanced state, he was in his Merkaba, and he could physically take his body. So I know that when our Merkaba is activated, we can travel with our lucid traveling. We can astral travel. We can do lots of consciousness, sort of taking ourselves places. But it takes quite a bit to get to that place where your body's vibrating enough to be able to take your full body with you. I know people on Earth that can do it. But yeah.
Wow.
So, yeah.
Wow. So, oh my God, I had a question and it just left me. It was about Jesus. So did Jesus, did he actually go work with the Essenes? That's not the question, but it's a question.
Did he work with the Essenes? So you mean...
Did he go study with the Essenes?
Okay. All right. I see what you mean.
Oh, that was the question. So Kibu just reminded me of the question that I had. Let's go with that one. So has Jesus reincarnated?
Okay. Let's have a look. So I know that we all have an aspect of our soul and oversoul on different planes. I feel this is truth, is that he's also Lord Sananda. I don't know if anyone's heard of Lord Sananda, but that he has that vibratory plane as well.
So let's ask if he, first of all, if he has reincarnated, and then I'll ask you several names that I've heard are Jesus.
Yeah. Okay. Let's see if he's reincarnated.
We'll see what's real and what's not real.
Let's find out. Okay, it's this one. Yeah, I don't feel he's reincarnated, no, on Earth, because we've got our 8 of Cups, so walking away from something.
Okay.
Then our King of Cups, which can be something that's hidden, something so, and then our Queen of Wands. So to me, this is someone I really trust, someone that's very intuitive. So he's left behind this legacy for us. So Knight of Wands, he hasn't needed to come back per se.
Okay.
Mm.
So I had heard number one that Buddha was the reincarnation. I don't know which happened first. If Buddha happened before Jesus or Jesus before Buddha, but are Jesus and Buddha the same soul?
Okay. For me, Buddha, it's a consciousness. Again, it's like having something coming from a different perspective, but in a similar frequency. Because when I've been doing incredible sort of spiritual meditation, I've actually connected in and I've felt the difference between the Buddhic plane as to the Christ consciousness energy. So I feel that they're different. So yeah,
Okay.
they're Five of Swords. So they're different. They changed up. They were different beings.
Okay.
Justice.
So that's,
is the
I'm
thing.
just talking about earth bodies, not
Yeah,
consciousness or
no,
anything
different.
like that. Just
Yeah,
basically earth bodies.
yeah.
So, okay. So Buddha was not Jesus.
Yeah.
Then you said Lord Sananda.
So Lord Sananda is an aspect of that
Was
oversoul
was that
of
a actual
Jesus.
human being that I can touch?
No.
Oh, okay. So no. Okay. So forget that question.
Okay.
Who else? Was somebody? Um. Oh no, I don't think he was Muhammad, the Prophet Muhammad.
Prophet Muhammad. Okay. No, I don't feel so.
Okay.
No.
What else? Who else was out there?
Greg's actually asked a question.
There was one. Krishna. Okay, Kathy asked Krishna. Ask if Krishna. Although Krishna was way before Jesus, like thousands of years.
And different plane of energy. So yeah, completely different plane when we're talking about realms as
Mm-hmm.
well. So yeah, so no, Page of Swords. So to me, this is a bit of a no card because
Yeah.
it's like no, it's not. It's not.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Yeah.
a whole different empress. So a whole different creation. Um, a whole different world. So no, Two of Pentacles. So
Okay.
no.
Okay. Okay. Very good. So then it sounds like he did
Mm,
not reincarnate on Earth, right? Is what it sounds like. He
doesn't
just
sound
didn't
like
need
it.
to.
You
Yeah.
didn't need to. No.
Okay.
Mm.
Um, did Jesus study in Egyptian mystery school?
It's a really good question. And I mean, there's, they say that he traveled, didn't he, over to India, to
Well, that's
Egypt.
where the Essenes come in. And I
Yeah.
don't know if the Essenes are
But
where
they,
they
yeah,
were. Maybe
but
they
the
were in
Essenes,
Egypt.
but Mary Magdalene also knew, she had the wisdom from the Essenes as well, from what I understood. So,
Mm.
yeah, let's just see. That one actually is hot. Let's have a look and see. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. So Wheel of Fortune, he definitely moved around. He definitely went there. Yep, King of Pentacles. So to me, this is a master of creating your reality, and a Nine of Cups. So it was something that he knew he had to do, he desired to do. So, and I have heard that he went through into the pyramids because they were actually used as initiation chambers and things in there.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Okay.
So that would make sense.
So who do you think
Yeah.
he'd be studying with if it was 2,000 years ago? Wonder who was
Well,
there at that time.
Well, the people around him, like you look at Mary Magdalene, all of that esoteric wisdom, they knew more than we do. They had more of that wisdom from those,
Mhm.
practices and their spiritual, rituals and whatever they did. They had much more. So the Queen of Cups has come up. So
Mhm.
they had much more insight into all of that. It's been hidden from us.
Yeah.
So, yeah. So, it's been taken away. That Knight of Pentacles has come through. So to me, it's been taken away from us, but it will come. I really believe, oh my God. And then we've got our Nine of Cups. I really believe that some of these beautiful rituals and practices will come back through onto our earth. So it's just been so, we've been robbed. And there's some people
Yeah.
that do work with that, with this beautiful Kundalini energy, activation of pineal gland, clearing, and activating our DNA. And to
Mm-hmm.
me, that's why I love working with this transference healing frequency, because it does that.
Yeah.
It's beautiful. So yeah, so no, I feel that it's going to be a lot more will come back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So,
All right. Very good. All right. So is he now where is he now? Is he in spirit pretty much, or
yeah. I know I see, sense, and feel when when the Christ consciousness, that energy comes through. I've actually seen, when I've been doing beautiful grittings that are really sacred, I've actually seen, and I'll go, oh, Jeshua, Jesus is here. I
Mhm.
actually can see and feel that. So yeah, so let's have a look and see. I don't feel he's here physically.
Mhm.
Um,
Oh God, no. Yeah. No,
no,
we said he
no,
didn't
no.
we said he didn't reincarnate, so
So no, but yeah, so he's still unique. So he works from many levels. So this was the life on earth. This was the mystery of everything, and then that was his uniqueness again coming through, that beautiful abundant uniqueness. And the 7 of Pentacles, so he planted many seeds for us to
yeah.
actually be able to learn and to know what it is he did, so that we too can do that. So for me, yeah, he lives on many different realms now. So there
Okay.
are, so like us, there's different aspects of us that are in
Mhm.
different realms, in different
Mhm.
places. So yeah,
So how can we find out what happened to Mary and what happened to Mary Magdalene?
yeah,
How did they
yeah.
die? How did they
Well, it's interesting because when I was in France, just with this last mystery school, we went to the Mary Magdalene caves, where she actually apparently lived. She wanted to be in this, to connect in with and do her beautiful mystical, um, things. And yeah, she actually lived in caves for quite a while in France, but she was connected in to the Cathars and whatever. So there was still a lot of witch hunting and stuff that went on as well. Even then, like, the Cathars were all murdered. If you had red hair, you're in trouble. It's like I would have been in big trouble back then. So I feel that she went to France and that was,
Mm.
yeah, the Empress card has come up. So she very much was there, and she was searched for. She was like, hounded as well.
Oh,
It
I
was a
can
tough
imagine.
journey. It was a really tough journey. So I felt they fled. So they really did.
Mhm.
They fled.
Mhm.
And it would have been the same, with Mother Mary. And, and as we know, the feminine principle, the Bible, it just all got excluded in the end, didn't it? It
Yeah.
was
Oh
all
yeah. Yeah.
all patriarchs.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
they went
yeah.
round they definitely traveled. They left. So the 2 of Wands tells me that this is something to help keep themselves safe. Ace of Swords has
Mhm.
just come up.
Mhm. Mhm. Mm. Wow.
Big job.
All right. So, is there a Jesus collective?
I love that question, Kathy. I would call it Christ consciousness, and that is this. What I feel is this 5th dimensional template that we can all connect into, that we're all activated through. So yeah, and I feel it's that's Christ consciousness to me. So, and to me, I've always seen it as gold, as gold light. So, but it's
Mhm.
been hidden. For us, it's been a really tough journey. Like, there's been so much to stop us from actually evolving, but
Yeah.
we can. There's that beautiful sun. So we actually can. So yeah, I believe that Jesus Collective is the Christ consciousness.
Okay. Okay. Very
Mm,
good. Very good. Wow. So very good questions today, guys.
yeah, really
Thank
good
you so
questions.
much for your questions. I'm very grateful for you sticking with us. And I hope you all have a beautiful, wonderful weekend. Thank you to Jesus, to Mary
Yeah,
Magdalene, and to Mary for being here with us
yeah.
during this time. and for what they went through, right?
Yeah.
For having to go through so much sacrifice for us to uh, be able to become who we are, and for them trying to help us, become better people. So I can't
Yeah.
wait till we are in that place where we do have Christ consciousness all over, all
Yeah, I
over the
know.
planet.
It
So
may be amazing. And just remember, guys, you can always just do that beautiful little meditation and just tap into that energy. If you need healing, if you need physical healing, emotional healing, just ask for this consciousness of these beautiful beings to come through for you.
yeah,
So yeah.
yeah, absolutely. All right, everybody. Love you so much. We'll see you on Tuesday, and have a wonderful weekend. And if you're here in the US, happy Mother's Day on Sunday.
Yes, definitely. Same here.
All
See you
right.
guys.
Bye
Bye from
bye.
Jazzy.